Right, it's time for my predictions for the UFC event coming up. I shall do it exactly like I did last time with the game of two halves. Except I might have three halves, depending on how much I need to feel the need to talk about Matt Serra and GSP. I shall start with the Caleb Starnes and Nathan Quarry match. They're almost equal on records. For Nathan Quarry, he's been off for a while after he's lost to Franklin. He's had one match since then recently, so we don't need to worry about him being sort of rusty or anything. Caleb Starnes, submissions, but most of them have come earlier in his career. I am going to go for TKO by Nathan Quarry over Caleb Starnes. I'm going to go for it in round 3 because I'm not sure how quickly Quarry is going to win, although I'm quite confident he will. The Michael Bisping versus Charles McCarthy match I'm not really interested in, although it's interesting to note that it's classic stand-up against submission here. I would love to see Charles McCarthy submit Michael Bisping, but I feel it's going to go the other way actually and probably end up in a TKO somewhere. I don't like Michael Bisping, even though he's English and so am I. The major problem I have with him is his attitude. You'll find that I will generally tend to write off fighters after a while if their attitudes are bad and they show no method of improvement. I take particular offence at Michael Bisping because he's English as well, and because he's in a sense representing our country in this sport in an international sense, and he's just not a very good ambassador. Matt Danzig versus Mark Bocek. I don't like Matt Danzig for similar reasons. I find him most disagreeable. It's got nothing to do with the fact that he's against cruelty to animals. That's fine. It's got nothing to do with the fact that he's a vegan either. It's just to do with the fact that he came across as an arse on Tough, and I haven't seen anything or heard anything that makes me think anything else. Both of these people are submission experts, but Mark Bocek, I'm thinking is probably a can for Danzig, to be honest. So there we are. I'm going to go for a submission via choke from Mark Danzig in the first. The Jason McDonald versus Joe Dirksen, depending on how you pronounce that, I don't know. Joe's got a stupid record, 39-11. I'm not sure if that's legitimate or not, but there we are. I noticed from his record that he beat Ryan from the Silverbacks via a choke. He also has a win via choke over Dennis Kang. He does have a loss to Hughes, so that makes everything better. Jason McDonald, who I like, also uses a choke submissions. We saw this in the fantastic win of his over Ed Herman, and as it happens, Ed Herman is fighting on the same card. I'm going to go with an RNC, obviously. I'm going to go for it by Jason McDonald in round 2. The reason I'm going to go for it is because these two have met before. They fought each other in 2005, and Jason won by RNC then. I'm going to say the same because I think that Jason has progressed a lot further in his career than Joe. I know and have heard of Jason, and Joe I'm not really familiar with. So there we are. The Alan Belcher and the Jason Day match I'm just not interested in. Sorry. Sam Stout versus Rich Clementi. I have spoken once to Rich Clementi online. Sam is quite a big figure. He's got a win and a loss via decision to Spencer Fisher, but he loses to names like Kenny Florian. Rich Clementi is not really a name. He may have twice the record, but the calibre of fighters that he's got wins over aren't quite as high. I actually went for Rich Clementi as my pick for winning in the Tough that he entered, and he was first to be eliminated. I do like him. I would love to see him win, but I think Sam Stout is going to win. I'm going to go for TKO in round 2. Jonathan Goulet versus Kanyushi Hiranaku. Something like that. I can't pronounce English names, let alone, Oriental. I'm going to follow the advice of the forum here. Most forum people have said that they think that Hironaka will win, and they think he will win by submission. I'm going to go for round 1 as well for that. I couldn't make head nor tail of their records, so I was stuffed on that. Brad Morris versus Cain Velasquez. I'm not interested in the match, but I love that name, Velasquez. David Velasquez. Well, 2 wins, 0 losses for him. I'd like to see him win, just because nobody likes to see a winning streak squashed, do they? Not with a name like that, Velasquez. I like that name. Ed Herman versus Demian. I don't know how you pronounce that either. Demian is 6-0. But I think he might end up being a bit of a can. Ed Herman, who I don't like because he seems to have a temper problem. He seems to like going for arm bars, so I'm going to go for a submission win there. I'm going to go round 2 because I think if Demian has managed to have a record of 6-0, he can probably get through the first round with a guy like Ed Herman here. So I'm going to go for armbar in the second. I would love to see Demian, who seems to be a choke man, choke out Ed Herman just like Jason McDonald, but I don't actually see that being a reality, I'm afraid. So there we are.